Hello, everybody, and welcome to Silent Podcast, the place where everything but silent. I'm your host, Isaiah, back with the Bounce Checks podcast with our special guest, Jonathan. Jonathan, what's going on, man?
Yeah. How's it going? How's it going? Things are going great, man. I mean, I'm outside of the house, but I'm loving life. It's a great feeling to have experienced that whole thing.
Awesome, man. So we have a few questions, obviously, like the first one. So we wanted to know because you had a close relationship with members of the Crown.
Yeah.
We also saw you were close with Satina, right? So,
Yes.
if it was your choice, would you have preferred to sit next to Satina or one of the members of the Crown?
Um, I mean, I'm loyal to the soil. I'm true to my word, and I gave my word to the Crown first and foremost. They were my ride and die. So I'd have to say a member of the Crown for sure. As much as I dearly, dearly, dearly care for Santina, I'd have to go with the Crown for sure.
Cool. Sort of a similar question. If you ended up staying due to Claudia, Shania, and Renee, do you think you would have considered working with them and shifting your loyalty from the crown to them, or would you have stayed with the crown?
Uh, I think I always would have been true to the Crown, but I would have tried to work it. I feel like I was good at building bonds between people. I mean, I put Hope and Santina together. I've kept people together when they wanted to separate. That's where I fit in the house. I was the bridge between relationships. So I feel like, especially Claudia, I really wanted the game with her. I really wanted, because she went off on her own. She really wants to play her own game now. And I really wanted to play with her. So I really would have tried to build that bond. But at the same time, to sum it up, the Crown all the way, I would have stayed true to the Crown.
All right. Over the game, you've built some really strong connections, as you mentioned. And one of
Yes.
the strongest was on the block next to you. How do you feel like your relationship with Hope impacted your game?
Uh, I mean, it deeply impacted my game, mostly all positive. You know what I mean? Like, we walked in there, it wasn't a good start from the beginning, but we grew together. We didn't choose each other. I mean, and we learned so much off each other. Like, I seen each and every day he was turning into the man he knew he could be, and I believed he could be. And I'd like to think that I helped him get there. And I mean, it goes beyond those walls. I mean, the relationship we have and not had is going to be special, and I look forward to building on that outside the walls. And hey, I'm in the jury, and I'm rooting for him. I'm hoping he digs deep and plays the game I know he can.
All right. So, you and Ty early in the game, you guys were working together,
Mm-hmm.
but then obviously Crown got formed. You guys kind of like went your separate ways and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Had you stayed this week, do you think that you would consider trying to like mend fences and work with them again?
You know what? There towards the end, I mean, we bonded. I mean, like, I believe that outside of the game, me and him have a lot of similarities and carry ourselves through life the same way. So I do think we could be friends, but game wise, I don't think we could have been allies. He still was number one on my radar, and if I was in the house right now, I would be gunning for him. He would be the first one on the block if I was to choose. But game respects game. But as a man, I respect them for sure.
Awesome. And who do you feel like is most at fault for your eviction this week?
Oh wow! I think it was a chain of events that happened throughout the week that just happened, but I would blame Ty for sure. Like, he would be, he picked Shania for the POV, which I thought he was going to pick me because he knew how bad I wanted to play in that POV. And it kind of backfired on me and kind of played into his hand. So yeah, I had to put Ty at fault for sure. I mean, there's no one else. I mean, everyone got to play their own game. I respect that. But if I was to pin the blame somewhere, it definitely would be on Ty for sure.
Hmm. With the information you know now, I am curious to know who are you most and least likely to vote for to win?
Ooh, most likely to vote for to win is, I got to go with my Queen Koozie. She's the one I want standing tall at the end. As of right now, I mean, things can change, but I truly believe she has this aura about her that just screams at people, you know, that she is built for this. But least likely to win, I would have to say Shania. I mean, I love Shania and she's great, and I've gotten to know her, but in that game and knowing the players that she's fighting up against, I strongly believe that she is least likely to win.
So as a juror, what are you looking for in order to give someone your vote?
Ooh, strong gameplay, respectable game, able to make strategic moves on a dime. I mean, everything changes so fast in there. And once you think you got things figured out, you just something happens and you realize you got nothing figured out. So a strong gameplay, a respectable one, and someone that just gave it their all and fought for the right reasons. So, and I'm really, really excited about sitting down with the rest of the jury members and discussing things and getting different perspectives. I'm a fair guy, so I'm going to give everyone a fair chance on it, whoever it is up there. And I look forward to helping make that decision.
Awesome. Earlier in the season, we saw how close you were with Rob. So our question is really, how do you think him getting backdoored so early impacted your game plan and the way you ended up kind of maneuvering moving forward?
Oh, it impacted my game so very much. I mean, I thought I had an alliance behind us, and I had a feeling, I smelt it, I felt it in the air that something was going on behind our backs. And when that happened, it assured me that it was. I mean, I rooted for Zach in that POV. I was behind him 100% of the way. I had no idea he was going to use it to backdoor at my best friend and closest ally at the time, Rob. It changed the landscape of my game. But hey, Rob thought he was alone. He was not alone. I fought my very hardest for him to stay in that game. But during that time, I earned the respect of people in the crown. So without that happening, the crown probably wouldn't be a thing. So, you know, even in the worst of situations, something beautiful can grow. So I'm appreciative of it. Looking back, I don't regret any of it. But yeah, it definitely changed the landscape of the game for me.
Awesome. Thank you.
That was beautiful.
That was beautiful.
Okay, I will do a little game with you before we close off. And I wanted to play superlatives. So I'm going to ask you questions, and I just want you to give me a name on who you think that superlative fits best.
Okay. Yeah, cool. Sounds good.
All right. So my first superlative is, who is the most underrated player in your opinion?
Most underrated player? Definitely Anika. I feel like people don't find her a threat, that she follows Kuzi, but she is her own woman, and she is not afraid to fight for what she believes in, and she is a stronger game player than a lot of people know.
Who do you think is the sneakiest player?
Sneakiest player? I have to go with Ty. I feel like he gives you different aspects of him during gameplay, and sometimes when he's talking to you, he's trying to manipulate you and what to say so he can use it against you. So I would go as far as say Ty for sure.
All right. And last one, who do you think is most vulnerable
now? I made sure that people were going to be there after I left, but Hope. I mean, I feel like losing me, and also as I would lose him, he lost his best friend and closest ally. So I wanted the right people to be there after I left. So hopefully they did that. But at the same time, he's a strong guy. He's finding himself in there, and he got a lot of fight in him. So I would say Hope, but I mean, he's surprising me every day. So he definitely got the fight in him.
All right. Well, that's the last of our questions. John, thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you guys for having me. I greatly appreciate all these interviews and conversations. You guys are great. And I will see you guys soon. And anytime you want me, I'm here.
Much love, man.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.